So, while I actually got a couple of minutes alone, and because of the Ray Rice tragedy, I call it a tragedy, I thought I would talk about when, and I was going to post this before, when the Jay-Z Solange things came out, but I'm going to talk about when I got attacked by a female. Well, one of many times, the last time I got attacked by a female. Okay. Which you could call it domestic violence even if it wasn't. It was more of a Solange thing. Alright. Here I was. There was no billions of dollars in cameras around. Here I was. Married man got attacked by my sister-in-law over some car keys. Over some car, let me see. Over some car keys. Okay? Now, much like Jay-Z, I ain't knock her head off. I use soft blocking techniques. Because my technique is like that. Now, people I told about it said, oh man, oh yeah, you just because you're a man and she's a woman and you're big and stuff, that's why it wasn't your technique. Found out later on, yes, it was my technique. Because here's the deal. She had taken a year kickboxing from what I heard. Kickboxing. Plus, she's tall for a woman. So, I don't know if she's got man strength. I doubt it, but she is taller than the average woman. If I had been an average sized dude, I probably would have gotten hurt, or at least been hit a few times. Now, if I wasn't trained, I probably would have grabbed her and hurt her if I just used my male grab strength or whatever. But my point is, you know, just like in my Men Take Martial Arts video, you know, I might as well call this Men Take Martial Arts Part 2 because the way these chicks are acting, it doesn't even matter if she owns up and says, you know what, I was wrong, I'm sorry, I caused this confrontation. If the right people want to mess up your job on domestic violence stuff, they can just do it. You're going to have to be a master of total parrying and evasion, both, not just one. You're going to have to really have a good grasp of parrying and blocking and evasion and literally be able to fight so that she has no marks on her with no harm done to her at all for it to be okay, for you to be able to protect yourself. You know, the whole thing with Ray Rice, my personal opinion, I think the NFL did it right the first time. Actually, honestly, if it was me, and, you know, if I was king of the world, or if that was my organization, honestly, I would not have suspended him. Because if the cops didn't see a reason to arrest him, I have no reason to suspend him. I rely on the cops for their objective third-party validation. So if in their objective third-party validation, they have all the facts and they decide that it was mutual combatants, that's what I would decide and I'd let it go, especially if she decided not to press charges. From what I saw in the videos, regardless of who struck first or who spit first, I saw two people fighting. I did not see self-defense. She charged him. She didn't back up and put her hands up and go, no, please don't hit me, Ray. Or just put her hands up and say, stay away from me, stay away from me. I don't want to fight you. Anything like that. Nope. When her pride got offended, she came at him. And then he fought her like she was a dude and clatter that, bat that. Boom, she was done. You know, other YouTubers are trying to make this a black-white thing. Or really, they're trying to make this a black thing. A black man, black woman, black women have a problem with domestic violence, and it's particular to our community and things like that. I will say this. While we do have a peculiar problem with domestic violence because of feminism in the black community, believe me, that is not a situation that is unique to black women. Now, one of my favorite YouTubers is Tommy Sotomayor. Love the brother. I like Sergeant Willie Pete. And I like David Carroll. Okay? I like anybody who's willing to put his foot in the proverbial butt of the black community, and especially when they get on these hard-headed sisters. I love it. Can't get enough of it. But I know better. I have been around all types of people. I have seen white folks scrap. I've seen white couples scrap. I've seen black couples scrap. I've seen the funniest fight I saw was these two gay white dudes who one did karate and the other did kung fu. It was the funniest shit I've ever seen in my life. The one of them went back in his tiger stance and was clawing at one with his tiger claw, and the other one was doing, I thought it was taekwondo at first, but it was karate because he had more karate style kicks. He didn't really do any taekwondo kicks in there, and he was throwing his attack punches. And they went at each other for about 30 seconds, breathed hard, then they kissed each other, held hands, and kept walking. It was the funniest shit I've ever seen in my life. Every time I think about that, I just laugh. I want to laugh my ass off. Oh my gosh. So like I said, it don't matter. Violence is part of the human condition. Women, this is what I tell you what. I'm going to go to this before I even say the obvious. I'm going to go by what I know the rebuttal's going to be. Well, what if it was your daughter? And what if it was your mother? And what if it was your sister? Well, if it was my mother, I couldn't tell my mama what to do. If it was my sisters are older than me. I can't tell them what to do. If it was my wife is actually older than me. She may not listen to me. But but I do have authority. So if it was my wife or my daughter, two women I actually have authority over. Okay? Or if it was even one of my students who I treated like a daughter, which right now I don't have any that I treat like my daughters. I just strictly treat them like my students. But anyway, let's say if it's daughter, wife, or some other female that I have some kind of authority over. Okay. If my daughter or whoever got Ray-riced, I would prosecute. But the whole time I would lean over and say, I told you not to hit that motherfucker. Every time I'd be sitting up in court, after she cried and gave her impassioned whatever, and she sat down or whatever, I'd lean up to her in her attorney and say, I told you not to hit that motherfucker. I would do it. Every time I would comfort her, cry, console her, and lean over and say, I told you not to hit that motherfucker. I told you not to hit a man. I told my daughter not to hit a man. I've trained my daughter in martial arts. I still told her, you got a black belt, that don't mean he won't give your ass a black eye. Won't mean he won't whoop your black ass. Because he's got man strength. I told her, you'll probably be able to beat the average man, yes. But if they've got training that's not even as much as you, but if you got training that's about one level below yours, or they're a professional athlete, you're going to have problems. You're going to have problems. So you can't use that argument on me. I have been Solanged, and I didn't appreciate it, but I kept my composure. But I also know that I am not the average bear, and I have a lot more self-control than most people. So if it was in court, if I was on a jury, I would not expect the guy to have utmost strength, because in my opinion, that is unrealistic.